Why is communication so gosh darn hard? It should be the easiest thing that we do because we do it when we're very, very young. I have, my wife and I have our first grandchild, and we watch her strive to learn more words and to communicate with all of us and how to get her points across, even as a youngster. So why is it so hard for us? Well, I have the answer. It's because we can talk, but we're terrible listeners, and I've certainly been guilty of that on and off during my career, time and time again. It's something that I always want to work on. But as I talk about it from the perspective of the ChurchNet Leadership Group, it's probably the number one thing that we have to focus on is active and effective listening. So I have 7 tips for you in respect to quality listening, but I'd also like to hear your thoughts at the end of this. So number 1 is listen before you prepare your comeback. And yes, I say comeback because a lot of times we're here and we're planning what we want to say in response to what the person's saying instead of being an active listener. I took a Dale Carnegie course early in my career, and we had people go out and talk to people. And actually one guy went to the bar and he said, I daled him to death. What did that mean? He just listened the whole time and very seldom made comments. Number 2, seek to understand before you want to be understood. People respect that. You have to probe, ask questions, be curious, as I've talked about before. 3rd is don't react in anger. Sometimes people say, they make a comment. It's about your mama, whatever it might be, but you're ready to respond and give them what they gave you instead of trying to understand what they're saying and not overreact, because that sort of ruins the conversation for the most part. Number 4 is take a moment. Don't just react. A lot of people need time to think about things before they react. There's nothing saying that you have to give a response to as an active listener before you have time to think about it. Number 5, understand your audience. You can go into a room that's very warm and receptive, or you can go into a room that's very cold. I guess I would ask you, do you know the difference? That's really important. Kind of sister to that is self-awareness. Know yourself. Know what you're going to say. Know how you want to respond. Know what's a negative, what's a positive. And finally, don't let things fester. A lot of times we leave a conversation and it's bothering one or both or the group, and it's not brought up, but guess what? It's still sitting there. It's still part of it. So those are 7 things that I'm trying to learn. We all need to work on those things. So my question to you is, what is your number 1 listening tip? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this for what it's worth.